Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamutirait Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashki Granraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 28th chapter, and the chapter is titled as Kapila Dev's instruction to Mata Devahuti on how to execute bhakti, the devotional service. So, Kapila Dev is explaining step by step how to perform bhakti. In the previous shloka of this chapter, Kapila Dev explains to Mata Devahuti, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Yogasya Lakshanam Vakshe Sabijasya Nupam Rajade Mano Yene Vidinam Prasannam Yati Satpatham. So Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devahuti that, oh my dear mother, now I'm going to explain you the process of Bhakti Yoga. And the object of Bhakti Yoga is to focus our mind on Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. By practicing this yoga of Bhakti, one can become joyful and progressively advance towards the path of absolute truth. That is Prasannam Yati Sata Pratham. So when we engage ourselves in Bhakti to Lord Shri Krishna, then our life becomes joyful and we advance towards Krishna Bhakti. Now, further, to explain this process of Bhakti Yoga, Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devahuti here in this shloka. Sva-Dharma charanam shaktya vidharmarcha nivartanam daivallabdhena santosha atmavicharana arjanam. Sva-Dharmanam shaktya vidharma cha nivartanam. So Sva-Dharma acharanam. So Kapila Dev is saying that in the bhakti process, one should perform one's prescribed duties. What are the prescribed duties? So one may be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whatever, or Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Grihastha, Sannyasi. So whatever the prescribed duties one has to perform to the best of its one's ability, Shaktya. Vidharmat cha nivartanam. Nivartanam means to avoid. And one should not perform somebody else's duty. Whatever is your duty, you should perform rather than engaging in others' duty. Daivat labdhena santosha. And by whatever work we are doing, hard work, Daiva labdhena. Whatever we obtain by our hard work, we should be satisfied. Should not always hanker more and more and more and more, otherwise it will destroy your bhakti. Atmavit charanam acharanam. Atmavit means self-realized Guru. Charana archanam. Charanam archanam means to worship the Guru's lotus feet, who is self-realized, who has understood the purpose of Krishna consciousness. So here, Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devahuti, one should execute his prescribed duties to the best of his ability and avoid performing the duties not allotted to oneself. So here Kapila Dev is saying that if you really want to please Krishna, then one has to do the duties which are assigned. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, so his duty was to fight. So that he has to do. Krishna is not recommending us to give up our duties. One should be satisfied with as much gain as he achieves by the grace of Lord. And then by the hard work beyond little Lakshmi, money, we should be satisfied. We should not always hanker more and more. And one should worship the lotus feet of spiritual master. And Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasada. Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasada. Yashna Prasada Bhagavad Koti. So we should be satisfied with whatever we get by our hard work, and one should always worship the spiritual master, try to please spiritual master. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining this verse in more detail. Prabhupada says, in this verse there are many important words which could be very elaborately explained. But we shall briefly discuss the important aspects of each. So in this verse there are quite a few concepts, actually, beautiful concepts. One is prescribed duty, avoiding the duties of others. One should be satisfied, santosha. And one should worship the Guru, the lotus feet of Acharya. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining the final statement, Atmavit Charana Archanam. Atmavit Charana Archanam. Charana means lotus feet. Archanam means to worship. Atmavit means Guru, one who is self-realized. So Atmavit means self-realized soul or spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. Unless one is self-realized and knows what is his relationship with Super Soul, he cannot be bona fide spiritual master. So to become a spiritual master, one has to realize that I am the servant of Krishna. I am not the master, I am the servant. Unless one is self-realized and knows his relationship with Super Soul, he cannot be a bona fide spiritual master. Here it is recommended that one should speak a bona fide spiritual master and surrender to him, Archanam. For by inquiring from and worshipping him, one can learn spiritual activities. So one has to approach a spiritual master. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshinti tadgnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. One has to be very humble and approach a bona fide spiritual master. When we are humble, then the spiritual master will show us the path. The first recommendation is Sva-Dharma Archanam. As long as we have this material body, there are various duties described for us. Such duties are divided by the system of bona fide, by the system of spiritual master, social orders. And what is this? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. These particular duties are mentioned in Shastra and particularly in Bhagavad Gita. So there are 4 varnas and 4 ashramas, and one should follow the duties. Sva-Dharma Archanam means that one must discharge the prescribed duties of particular division of society faithfully and to the best of the ability. One should not accept another's duty. If one is born in a particular society or community, he should perform the prescribed duties for that particular division. If, however, one is fortunate enough to transcend the designation of birth in a particular society or community by being elevated to the standard of spiritual identity, then his Sva-Dharma duty is to solely that of serving Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one may have a different dharma according to birth. Somebody is born in a particular family, or one is of particular type of varna or ashrama, then one has to do that duty. But the original duty of all of us is to serve Krishna. The actual duty of one who is Krishna conscious is to serve the Supreme Lord. As long as one remains in the bodily concept of life, he may act according to duties of social convention. But if one is elevated to the spiritual platform, he must simply serve the Supreme Lord. That is the real execution of Sva-Dharma. So there is one Sva-Dharma for the body, but there is another Sva-Dharma for Atma. And the real Swa-Dharma is of Atma, to serve Paramatma, to serve the Supreme Lord. And you can serve Supreme Lord by remembering His name, chanting His name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So in this way, in this shloka, Kapiladev is explaining to Mata Devhuti about the prescribed duty, Swadharma. One should perform the prescribed duty according to the social orders to the best of his ability. And this duty is defined by the birth and social. But at the same time, one should avoid doing somebody else's duty, vidharmat. And one should be satisfied with whatever we get with the grace of Lord. And one should surrender to the spiritual master, serve him very submissively, worship the lotus feet of Lord, and slowly by doing that, we will achieve the Krishna Prema. Okay? So with that, we'll pause here. We'll continue study of Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.